Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's bar and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too. And many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice pianist string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. They're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yet controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression. So remember, you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Anita if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Elena's Bar, the Resurgence of Sanity. How are you doing today, guys?
I'm doing great. Hey, you did a great job.
You liked it?
I assigned Elena that task. There's a World War I song. How are you going to keep them down on the farm after they've seen Paris?
Yep.
So the theme is, okay, after they've seen bright lights, degeneracy, fun, now they got to come back to a normal life. So I sent Elena that song and said, it seems to apply. It needs new lyrics. See what you can do with it. And that was yesterday. This is what she came up with. I think she did a great job.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Yeah, I spent a few hours on that song. It's a tricky one. And yeah, I did actually change the lyrics for the whole song. I didn't have time. It was too short notice, to do the full song. I will eventually upload the full song, guys, because I have it there. Okay, I have the lyrics for the whole song, so we will do it maybe next time. Okay. Welcome, Tacticus. Great to see everyone. Yeah, guys, today we have a fun topic, and yeah, that song
lots
applies.
of fun, right?
Yeah, it's lots of fun. Yeah. Today we have fun. We have an interesting topic. We are going to talk about women, their mask versus reality. And the recent drama.
I think here we go, Steve. Credit goes to Steve Sandman, 7 Man, for the mask she wears. at the
Yeah,
resurgence
yeah.
in fun.
Well, you also did another related live stream that I did share recently on Twitter. I shared your morality of lipstick on a pig too. That was similar, and then you kind of dove into the philosophy and morality of how these people think, and
Yeah. I
yeah,
don't remember when we did the mask she wears. That was,
like a year
I don't
ago,
know,
Steve.
a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah. A long
That's
time
been
ago.
one of the first ones. That may have been one of the first ones.
The thing we discussed there is, well, it was based on my experience of being deceived. And Nick's too.
Oh yeah.
So you marry a religious woman and you realize, no, she's not better. She's actually might be worse than secular women. Okay, we were throwing that out as an idea and trying to see, is this true? And, I've come to the conclusion that yes, it's true. Religious women are no better than secular women. And in fact, they might be worse because they have a greater incentive to hide their sinful behavior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
and
now
church,
we're seeing it played out.
yeah, and church embraces them and it allows them to get away with it, because even now, like, what are the consequences for their mess ups, for their screw ups? Like, are they still in church? Are they still married? This would
Yeah.
be my number one
A lot of
question.
them are still married. A lot of them are still in church because the
Mhm.
church girls, because with false accusations, they can make crap up and exaggerate it, and they throw the man down. They
Yeah.
absolutely can destroy a man's reputation, and they'll circle the sisterhood uber alles or team woman around and say, "Bad man, we see why you left him,"
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
just
yeah.
a cover for their bullshit.
Yeah, I wonder what church will come up with this time to cover Anna Stokes bullshit, or Anna's, not Anna, sorry, Sarah Stokes or Sarah Setka bullshit. Because, yeah, yesterday I was watching Pearl's live stream. It was a good live stream. I highly recommend it to watch, guys. She was going after Stephen Crowder, who was like, well, you know
No,
what?
no,
You're
Matt
still
Walsh.
supposed to.
Nope, correct that. It was Matt Walsh.
Okay. Well, Steven Crowder was commenting on the
Okay.
on the story. Yeah. So Pearl was watching the video, and then, oh my gosh, such a simp. I mean, and he was just zeroed out by his wife. Like, well, okay, maybe it was like sometime last year. I don't remember the dates. I don't really follow them that closely, but you get my point, right? He was just he was raped by his wife, and then what does he say to me? Well, you still are supposed to man up, because this degenerate culture, you're still supposed to wife up this horse, basically. Have you learned anything from your lessons, or is it beneficial for you to tell men to marry? Because we need those birth rates to go up, and everyone is so scared of birth collapse. And you guys covered this topic on your channel with my husband about demographics, and how, yeah, the birth rates are going to decline, but humanity won't go extinct. Men still procreate. Men don't need marriage to procreate. Women need men because it gives them more security, and it also, with all of the privileges that women have today, it only benefits women.
Well, Lena, I'll stop you there. I do think men should, ideally and under proper historical marriage, get married and procreate. But we don't live in that right now.
Yeah.
And so I still don't think men should procreate because there's still too many risks. And you're
Well,
still
I
raising
agree.
kids in an abnormal household.
I agree with you. Men shouldn't do those things, especially given the circumstances. But if push comes to shove, when women are forcing men into marriage because, well, you need us to procreate. No, men don't need to wife you up to inseminate you. You know, I mean, it's just simple biology, and it always has been there. And throughout the wars, how did people still procreate? There were so many women.
Most men will still not procreate because they want to procreate with a wife. And they won't procreate because either way they can get screwed in family courts.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's rational for men.
Men won't procreate because they
Yeah.
won't get married.
Yeah. Well, but then
the reason is they have no guarantee that they will be able to have their progeny, their children. Once a woman gets pregnant, that child is no longer his by law.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it might seem until she acts on it, but anytime she wants to take that child from him, she has the ability to do that. There are no guarantees that he can keep his child and stay in the child's life.
Without the mandatory paternity test, it's even hard to prove that the child is biologically his. So, like, you want men to marry, right? Basically, bail these women out who fucked around, because it's safe to assume all of them are run through whores today. Even Sarah Setka, she was saying 1 year ago or so, before she fucked Eli, or what's his name, her boss. She was claiming publicly on whatever podcast that she was a virgin. Yeah, well, I mean, do you even buy? Like, do you even?
Elena, I married one of those too.
I know. How did it play out for you?
Well, she apparently wasn't a virgin, and there's all sorts of shenanigans while we were probably married, but also while we were engaged.
Well, and see, there is no guarantee, even if men marry a woman. It used to be historically, yes, I agree that marriage was better for the couple to procreate. 100% they were unique. But today you look at, back then men were also having higher chances of getting a virgin. She was coming with a dowry, and she was actually anatomical virgin. Okay, this second virginity.
And if she wasn't, you know what the church gave you, and the state generally backed it up, was an annulment.
Annulment, exactly. There were consequences. Now, what are the consequences for Sarah Stork's actions? She cheated on her husband while she was in engagement, right? Right before marriage. She knew that she was getting married. She knew that her husband was loyal to her fiance at that point, right? She still cheated on him. Okay, let's say she got knocked up. Speculation, guys, 100%. I don't know. So let's say she just got knocked up, and then this Will Setka, her husband, right? He wives her up. Whose child is he going to raise? And this is what the traditional conservatives are asking men to do. Like, yeah, a woman can whore around, she can get knocked up by one guy while she marries another guy, and you tell them, yeah, you still get married if you want to procreate. Is it even his biological child? Why should he be responsible?
In this case, that's a hypothetical.
It's a hypothetical.
Okay,
it's not true.
Let's assume she was wearing the mask of the good Christian virgin with her fiance. That means they probably weren't having sex. But she was getting fucked by Elijah. there is some speculation that she did get pregnant. And some well, if she did get pregnant, probably had an abortion. But she's anti-abortion. See,
Yeah,
she
right.
still has that mask too.
Mhm.
She could not get married to her husband and be pregnant, because that would negate everything about her that would show what a fraud she was. So she had to get the abortion, even though she's anti-abortion, and then pretend, I didn't fuck around, I didn't get pregnant, I'm a good woman, and just to prove it, let's get married and we'll have the Pope bless our marriage. Oh, now everything, the past is the past. As
Yeah, right.
long as no one knows about it, it never happened.
Okay. As long as no one knows about it, the small caveat in there. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a thing. You try to keep crap hidden, it finds a way. It finds a way. Most of
It
the time, it
does.
finds a way. It comes to light.
Yeah.
It just pays to be honest and upfront the first time and all the time. That way you don't know what lie you're hiding or how you change the story or somebody finds your dirty laundry.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's how it works. It's like, and then okay, I saw, guys, I don't know how closely you were following this case, but I saw somebody posted on Twitter her messages with whatever podcast, I think whatever actually shared that, how she was trying to get there. She's like, I'm a Christian woman, I'm a virgin, I would like to be there. And she sent like 4 messages to whatever podcast, And
Clout. Clout
I
chasing.
I know, right? But it's they definitely use it for cloud. Religion and Christianity, Jesus, everything is for cloud. It's not real. And then
Clout and capitalizing on the best men that they can get, usually with lots of resources.
yeah, well, and preferably a faithful man, a loyal man, like that Will Setka, your.
Look,
I don't even know. Like, will he divorce her? Will he have the spine to divorce her? Maybe
it
she
took me
on
11
purpose.
years. It took me 11 years.
Well, you had okay, Nick. You didn't realize. Maybe it wasn't that obvious in your case right away. But you also had kids with her, right? In Will's case, it's all over the internet. If he chooses to open his eyes and see the evidence in front of his eyes, maybe there is something he can do there. It's now up to your husband to impose some consequence on her, because it's like if everyone lets her slide.
But that's controlling behavior, and then she has
I
a
don't
reason to
care
divorce him, not because of her
consequences.
adultery, not because of her unfaithfulness, but because he's a bad man who dared to control her. That's abuse.
And he's unforgiving.
I don't care the
No,
consequences. There should be
I'm just saying how it will
consequences.
work.
She would
That's
be,
how it will work in
guys.
the law, probably.
She would be a better human being. She would be a better woman if consequences were imposed on her. Seriously, even if she doesn't like it. Who likes consequences? Everyone is trying to some degree, especially women, when we're talking about women, and well, there are some men who might want to avoid consequences too, but like for the most part, okay? In general, women always try to avoid consequences. It's up to men. It doesn't matter how she feels about it. She's not going to enjoy it, but she has to suffer through it. She has to. It's good for her.
I don't think there's going to be that many consequences.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Yeah. Like, this is why they do it, guys. This is why then you wonder, like, how Rachel Wilson left a comment there, but like, can't they just say the truth for once and I'm paraphrasing, it be true what they say? No, they can't. They can't help themselves because Men are buying it. Men are the ones who give them
Okay.
commitment. Men are the ones who wipe them up after all of that crap. And even now,
Yeah.
okay, maybe her husband didn't realize what she was doing. Okay, he trusted her. But like, here is the evidence in front of you. What are you going to do about it?
That's
Okay,
what we have a question in the chat, a super chat.
Yes. Okay. Doug and PA,
Same
yeah,
question.
thank you guys. Okay, is Sarah Stokes' husband going to stay or go? He's going to stay because he's a good little simp. I agree with you.
Yeah, probably.
Relatives and liberals are the exact same. Well, and this is why she married him, because he was convenient for her. You know, yeah, she got her back blown up by an alpha dude, you know, the Chad. And even in that case, okay, like she chose a guy who was already married to blow her back out. I don't know.
Okay, they're going to structure this a little bit. There have been comments, and Doug MPA has a good lead-in. There's conservative comments on this and liberal comments on this. The red pill guys have been commenting. Kind of like, hey, this kind of proves what we've
been saying, yeah.
talking about
It's been a long time.
for,
I know, right?
for years. See?
Yeah.
See, here's your evidence. And the conservatives are they're doing backflips to not acknowledge the truth here. So you brought up Rachel Wilson. And, you know, I have a lot of respect for her. I like her.
I like her. Yeah, I like her.
She's an
too.
intelligent woman. But her comment was, can't they tell the truth? And what would unrestrained men do compared to unrestrained women? Implying if men were unrestrained, they would act the same. That is not true. Men have an internal restraint.
Mhm.
Not all men act on it. Yes, men do
Mhm.
bad things. But a man, okay, the statement, a man is only as good as his word. His word is his bond. What keeps a man to abide by the word? I told you I'd do that. I will do that. That's an internal restraint on the man. And it's not only Christian men who believe that. No,
Mhm.
I said it, and I'm good to my word. You can trust me. So there is an internal restraint component on men. Whereas women, it's different. They as long as you don't know that I sinned and no one knows, I can still pretend I'm good.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
okay, that's one way the Christians are attacking this. Okay, Rachel kind of did that. It was a sophisticated, well, men do that too.
Well, yeah. It sounded like, okay, if women mess up, then men do it to me. But this is the problem with women when they say, okay, we are willing to criticize female behavior, but we are also going to mention evil male behavior because we just can't call out female behavior, you know. This
Right,
is actually
okay.
what I like about Pearl, because like when she calls it out, she's like, okay, here is somebody messed up, I'm calling it out. And she doesn't try to say like, well, men do it too, or like men don't do it too, or you know.
Pearl's commentary was very good. And
It was very good.
She played Matt Walsh, and Doug MPA says Matt Walsh said her husband should have seen the signs.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, it turns out she wasn't a good woman. But you know what? He didn't vet her properly. The signs were there. What the fuck? The signs may not have been there. And even if the signs were there, the man is not red-pilled enough to see the
Yep.
signs.
And it
Nick,
doesn't.
It's a
Nick,
suppository, guys.
your wife had those, your fiance had those signs.
Oh
I
yeah, she
think,
did.
maybe. You
Oh
were
yeah,
such a dumb fuck, you didn't see the
Yep.
signs.
that was a dumb fuck.
Guys, it's very
And
hard. I'm telling
guess
you.
what?
This. Mhm.
What I'm criticizing you for applies to me too, because I said the same damn thing. So there
The red
is
pill
no man out there who's gonna see the
It
signs
doesn't
because
matter.
he's not
Wait,
looking for them.
most guys become red pilled as a suppository. We're
Yeah.
not red pilled ahead of time. Life
Yeah.
hits us hard, and then we're like, "Holy shit! Why did this happen to me?" And then we like, "Oh wait, it's all here in the red pill."
And look, women, I have to give them credit for being very sneaky and very creative about it. They are hiding it so well that even the best of the alpha out there, the chat, can be bamboozled, because guys, it's not about whether you are an alpha or a beta simp or a conservative versus red pill. Women are allowed to destroy man's life regardless of what a man is and what kind of background he is coming from. This is on the legal system, this is on the institutions that support this poor female behavior, because there are no consequences for this kind of behavior for women.
And you were wondering what the Christians are going to do? Look, Doug MPA just pointed it out. Matt Walsh said her husband should have seen the signs.
Yeah.
Therefore, she was one of those bad women.
Yeah.
It's really his fault for marrying her because he didn't identify that she wasn't a good woman. And then others are saying, well, it really wasn't her fault. It was the fault of feminism that fed her brain with these bad ideas. So in that case,
women never
it wasn't her fault.
accountability.
It was feminism, and it was his fault for marrying her in the first place. End of story. So guys, just go out there and wife up a woman, have kids, and this is just a freak outlier event, right?
Well, and you
Right,
know
Nick?
what? By blaming it all on man, by blaming her poor behavior, she cheated on her fiance, right? By blaming it on man that he didn't see the signs, it allows women to come up with ever more creative ways of misleading men. Okay, we are calling out this specific behavior. Next time they will come up with a new grift that will camouflage it even better, that you will not see those things that happened before, but you will see something else. But this is what women do. And by
and are they accepting any accountability?
no, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yep, another red pill truth. That's just the way it is.
There was a recording of Sarah Stock, some voice recording of a conversation right after this came out. And she was saying, well, yeah, it happened at the CPAC, Conservative Political Action Committee convention, or whatever that was. So she was there. She had a cold or something. And she said she wasn't thinking clearly. And Elijah gave her some Benadryl.
Yes.
Then she was drinking. And then she blacked out and slipped and fell and got poked. I'm paraphrasing there. And then but the fling relationship continued for the next 6 months.
I know, right?
So
yeah, like
so okay, that one time,
really poked.
and then she continued it.
And then it
so
has led to 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously her first excuse is complete bullshit, because if it was really unwanted, you wouldn't have done it 17
for 6
more
months,
times.
right? Yeah. No, it's just to get the simps to give them some bone to chew on, so that they say, oh, you poor Sarah, you poor thing, this Elijah guy is just so degenerate, he's so horrible, and he cheated on his wife, and blah blah blah. The fact, okay, men, in order for men to fuck women, what's required? Women spreading their legs. If she didn't want to fuck him, she would have kept her legs shut. Simple as, okay? No, she wanted to fuck this guy.
Andrew Wilson did a tweet, right?
Yep. I think.
What did that tweet say?
Oh,
I don't have it in front of me. It's something like, well, this happened, but this doesn't prove anything.
Oh, okay.
Was that, am I getting it right, Nick?
I don't remember. It was a few days ago.
Yeah, there were a
So many
lot
tweets
of
since then.
tweets,
He
guys.
was kind of dismissing it. Like, no, we're not going to talk about this. No, I'm not engaged. This would indicate the red pill is right. They're not right. This proves nothing.
Yeah.
Move along. Nothing to see here, folks.
Yeah, just ignore what happened, ignore her behavior, and don't impose any consequences on her.
Hey, look, don't believe what your eyes see. Believe
Uh-huh.
what the tradcon church people tell you.
Yeah, right. This is just bullshit. I mean, and then
Believe the mask they wear. It's just an outlier, guys.
yeah,
Women really don't wear masks,
I know,
do
right?
they?
Oh, why do we have then so many church ladies on social media? If they truly believed God's word, let's say, they would be married. Nobody would know them. They would be helpmate to their husbands. They would shut the fuck up and get out of there. Okay? They wouldn't be saying, well, I really want to be on Fresh and Fit podcast, or I really want to be on whatever podcast. Here I am. I'm so Christian. The lady does protest too much. This is what my husband would say. You know? You can't just trust what they tell you, because this is exactly why they tell you, because they know that they can get away with it. They know how many people are going to buy into their grift, to buy into this bullshit.
Yep. Well, you have two men here that were stupid enough to buy into it early on in their lives.
Okay, Nick, I got a question.
Yeah.
Regarding that. Knowing what you know now and reflecting back on coulda, woulda, shoulda, was there any real way to identify the red flags back then with a high level of certainty?
If I knew about them, sure.
Okay, what signs did you miss?
Oh, the anger. That was one. Okay, let's think about them. Anger.
Anger at what?
In general, ways she didn't get her way. The male friends issue was another one. Huh. It was an LTR. That was another one. Would have never done that. It's another one.
LTR.
Long-term relationship.
Long-term relationship.
LDR. Long distance.
Okay, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Long distance relationship. So she could do what she wanted, and then you're not going to find out about it, and she can wear the mask with you. Yep. So the anger, I want to get back to that, because I think that might be a key. When you asked her about her sexual past or lack of sexual past and her past boyfriends and behaviors and whatnot, did that trigger anger in her?
No.
No?
No. A lot of lies, but no. No anger.
Okay, well, maybe you didn't push hard enough.
I didn't.
Because if you push a woman hard enough about, well, you know what? This doesn't make sense. I don't think you're as pure as you said. Or, you know what? Ask her the questions. Did you ever have an abortion? If she says no, didn't, you can probably believe her. If she says, oh my God, how can you even think about asking me that question? And she just goes on a tirade. You just poked a wound in her,
Hmm.
and she is overreacting to the question. It's a fair question. And
Yeah.
so that's one thing. And no, okay, so you
I,
say you're a
I
virgin.
think
Are
another
you
one,
really a virgin?
right? Yeah, I should have probed deeper. Another one, now that I think about it, was lack of willingness to follow.
Mm.
Yeah,
She knew her faith better than you, even though you were in seminary, right?
correct. I wasn't in seminary at that time. But I was heading towards it.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, some women will conceal it better than most. Like she could have reacted like about abortion. I don't know how long they could fake it though.
Oh,
Like if you
and
ask
piercings
a
was another
woman,
one.
did you
Yeah,
have
lots of piercings.
piercings? Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
that was
Well,
another
was
one.
she a natural redhead, or did she color her hair even more red?
That was after we got. That was after we got. We were married
She colored her hair into red.
and started cutting it short. Yeah, red, purple. You know, kind of that wine color.
Okay,
Wow.
my first wife had that tendency too, to color her hair more of a reddish color. This was before the bold colors. But it seems to me that a woman who colors her hair red, my experience, I don't know why, but it seems to be somewhat of a tell for a rebellious nature in a woman.
Mm-hmm.
The artificial coloring her hair red or blue or purple. I mean, that same damn thing. And piercings, she if you met a woman like that today, she'd probably also have tattoos.
None of those, but lots of like. It was like a ton of ear piercings, and then she had like a belly piercing.
Oh.
Oh yeah, but hey, she was a traditional virgin, conservative woman. She
I
was the
don't
daughter
buy
of
it.
an elder.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I did. I was a dumbass.
Hmm. Well, at some point, like men, men become red pill. They are not born that way, let's say. Or they are trained to ignore the evidence of their own eyes, and then not pay attention to all of these red flags, the obvious
Yep.
ones. The traditional conservatives, the church leaders, they are usually sneakier about it. Like they can even wear the covered dress, that doesn't reveal a lot of body, but like the way they talk and the way they even like quote the Bible, there are certain things in their behavior that you watch and then you just say like, you're not supposed to do that as a faithful woman. Like how they say, as a godly woman, and then they criticize, this is not a godly woman. Here I am, I'm so godly here, I'm quoting the Bible for you. The fact that you are quoting the Bible publicly already speaks that you are not godly. Okay.
I want to talk about the concept of red flags.
Okay.
Okay, Rich Cooper has a statement. Yes, she has more red flags than a Chinese military parade. Okay, there are women like that out there. I mean, you can't ignore it. I mean, it's a big fucking red flag banner waving right in front of your face. Most women don't have red flags that size.
Mm-hmm.
red flags might be smaller,
Yeah.
or they might be like the size of a little red flag on a toothpick, waving around like that. And then it goes like this, and then it goes away. And the guy's going, oh, I see a red flag. I don't know. It was tiny. It doesn't matter. I'm uncertain. I'm uncertain whether this behavior is really a red flag or not. Guys, you're going to have no positive proof that really is a red flag. You're going to have to use your judgment, and it's based on probabilities. Okay, just because she has multiple ear piercings, is that a red flag? Well, maybe not. It's a factor. So you set that one aside and say, yeah, it causes me a little caution. Now let me look for other things. But, and so you need to add up a whole bunch of these and make a decision about this woman. And it's not going to be an easy decision.
Yeah, some of the red flags are going to, and women are learning also, like they see the red pill cons and they see the red flags that the red pill guys are criticizing or calling out, and then they are adopting and adjusting them. They're either making them less visible for like the average guy, let's say. Even for the red pill guys, there are some women who are really good at camouflaging who they are, because they watch the content, they realize that, okay, there are a few things I can improve here and there so that I'm perceived in a certain way. And then it's really hard. It's really hard for men to, even for the best men out there with an iron eye to, to see who they are, Well, I think it's the lack of consequences because, like, look, it doesn't in
What
the end.
consequences?
For women, in the end, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, her red flags. Some of them she can get away with. Some of them are more profound than others. In the end, a woman can destroy a man's life. So what Sarah Stock did, she didn't just ruin her husband's life. She also ruined her boss's life because he has children, right? And she still chose to fuck him. I mean, like, if that man decides to cheat on his wife, that's on him. We are not talking about him. We are specifically targeting her behavior. She chose to fuck him continuously for 6 months or so before her wedding. It should tell us something about her character as a person. She didn't care about the family that she was destroying. I don't care if that man, if she's not the first lady that he cheated on, the fact that she spread her legs for him says a lot about her. She knew that he had family. She knew that he had children. Why did she still choose to fuck him?
Elena, keep talking about consequences. Now, I do believe there should be consequences. Yes, that's true.
The Bible gave some good ones.
Do the consequences change a woman's behavior? If we make an example out of her and impose heavy consequences on her, will she serve as an example to other women? I don't think so. Because consequences are in the future. Right now, this is what I want to do, and there will be no consequences if no one finds out about it.
See, consequences must be immediate for whatever she did. It's like training a dog, okay? A dog does something bad, you punish it. A dog does something good, you praise it. But, with women, you can't even praise them. Like Rachel was saying, that the moment she gives them the benefit of doubt, and then she praises them, and then here they go, she's played fool, because this is women we are talking about, right? So you with consequences, they have to be immediate, just like with training a dog, okay? With women, you have to give them harsh consequences right away for their actions. It
Yes,
can't be like
that-
years later, like they
Yes,
don't connect.
okay.
They are lacking abstract thinking.
That is true. That's called discipline.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. You're not going to find out about what they did to impose those consequences. And if you're just dating a woman, or even if you're engaged to her, you have no power to impose consequences over her. Even after you're married, your power, you might even have less power to impose consequences.
Well,
So
true. This is why you don't
consequences,
marry.
imposing
Must be re-
consequences is not the answer.
What is the answer
Hey,
then?
Restraint has to be built into the law.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree with Nick. Yeah.
restraint has to be built into her life. It comes
law.
from
Yeah.
yes. I mean, the law, okay, think about it. She should be under the protection and restraint of her father up until the time she gets married. And then that authority gets passed from father to husband. Now, our society is, oh, she's 18. She gets to go off and do whatever she wants. She's her own person. Okay, she's no longer under any restraint during that period of time. And consequences be damned. You know what? I think the Bible kind of says women need to be under the authority of a man, father to husband, with no free time in between. So that model is not at all about consequences. But of course, if she screws up when she's under the authority of a man, yes, he can impose the consequences immediately. So without reestablishing this ancient model, I don't think things are going to change.
So punishing one woman publicly, you don't think that other women could learn something from it and see like maybe what
No.
she did is not a good
No.
idea?
No. No.
I'm not going to hold my breath. Women
No,
don't
they're already
learn
circling
from
the
other
wag-
women.
They're already circling the wagons anyways.
Mm.
They're not going to learn.
Okay, people in general don't learn from watching the mistakes of others. We only learn when the mistake happens to us, and then, okay, life happens. Oh, shit, that was really a bad idea. I guess I'm not going to do that again.
Mm.
But seeing someone else do something stupid and suffer consequences, gee, it didn't happen to me, so I don't have anything to learn here.
Yeah. I still think that if she suffered divorce, it would be good for her.
Well, yeah, but look, it's the masks they wear. They're just going to say, oh, she didn't wear the mask well enough. She didn't cover her tracks well enough. That's a lesson that they're going to take from this. They'll still
Yeah, they'll still
wear
do
a
it.
mask,
Yeah.
and the men will still be duped to not understand the reality of the woman that they are with. That's the nature of most women, is that men are dating this facade and the woman is portraying this facade, and then it comes to see, then they'll always question, like Steve says, does he really love me for who I am? If I take the mask off, will he really love me?
Yeah.
They don't want to present themselves as who they are, most women. And therefore they cannot be loved for who they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
What mask are they going to wear, and are men going to be smart enough to detect that mask? And that's what we're here for, is just trying to say, well, what Steve does is he asks some indirect in your normal conversations, he's able to ask certain questions that might peel off the mask for a bit, or might recognize that, hey, she's not being fully upfront with who she is. She's hiding something about herself and portraying something else.
Well, and it's also okay. In the royal families, they do the background check on the person that their sons or daughters are dating, their online presence, and yeah, I tend to agree that there were a lot of red flags that were ignored there, because the fact that she even wanted to be on whatever podcast should have been a huge red flag. Because let's be honest here, what kinds of women go to whatever podcast? What kinds of women go to Fresh and Feed podcast? These are usually not the women that you wife up, gentlemen. These are the women who are attention seeking public whores, okay? I don't care what kind of mask they wear. The fact that they are there because they want clout and attention should tell you, no, stay away. Don't wipe them up. Women with big clout on social media, I would go as far as to say even that women with big clout on social media, you don't wipe them up.
That's
You
a red
don't.
flag. That's one
It's
of
a
Rich
huge
Cooper's
red
flags.
flag. It's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a thought. Okay, here's my thoughts. Sarah Stock is not an exceptionally bad woman. She's a typical woman who act on impulse and do things they shouldn't have done. Remember, every whore started out as a virgin
Mm-hmm.
and made a bad decision the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and then kept coming back. Okay, and maybe she regretted it, but we did a program on regret, repeat, relapse.
Relapse, yeah.
So the regret has nothing, doesn't affect her behavior. She's going to do it. So, okay, Sarah Stock, there's a little bit of Sarah Stock in every woman. And you can't say, oh, feminism put it there. No, it's been there from the very beginning. Go back to Genesis. You had Adam, who showed restraint, self-restraint. He didn't eat the fruit from the tree. Eve did. So, okay, well, every woman has the ability to make a bad decision. That's why she should be under the authority of her father, who watches over her and imposes consequences and keeps her out of those situations where she might, on impulse, make a bad decision.
Well, but Steve, her father even can't prevent her from doing all of those mistakes. It's like
in our modern world, you are correct.
There is only so much a father can do. Like, yeah, he can guide her, but if she ignores him, and then so many women, they just like, no, I don't care what you say. I still want to do that thing, and she jumps ahead and does it.
It's not an easy
not his
job.
It's not a dad's job. I know there is a lot of pressure on dads. I'm going to stand up for dads because it's not his job to defend her when she has agency. She can choose. She has free will. She can decide to tell him fuck off and die. I'm going to do my own thing. Then he can say like, well, then fuck you too, because it's like, why should I care? Why should I bother? You behave. Okay. And there were times when I talked about it to my husband recently, actually. In the Bible, I think Nick could, refresh it for us. When fathers would disown their daughters or children in general for bad behavior, they would say, no, you don't behave according to these rules. I'm disowning you. This is imposing a consequence on female behavior too, and fathers just check out because they realize there is nothing they can do. The kids are lost. Fathers don't have
when
authority.
That happened, there's two things you could do. I think it's in regard to a son, but also in regards to a woman. A daughter. if they're no longer under the father or husband, they're a whore for the streets, right? Or say your son's behaving so bad, or you could even include the daughter in that category. There's a place where you took them for the elders of the city and they stoned them.
Okay, let's not go that way. Let's go this way.
Okay.
What happened before she said, fuck you, Dad? In our modern world. Okay. She turned 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
She has her cell phone and she's gossiping with her
Girlfriend.
female friends.
Mm-hmm.
And, she starts wearing short t-shirts that don't cover her belly button to school. She starts developing, getting some curves. She wants to flaunt it and be seen and dress a little bit more provocatively. And if the father doesn't say, we're not having that, not in my house, you're not doing that. No, you're not going out of the house wearing that. And then check up on her. See if she wore different clothing or brought some different clothing and changed at school. And if you'll find out, take some time off of work, you go down there, have her pulled in to the office and say, we're going home. And you embarrass the shit out of her right then and there. So now she has this idea that, okay, Dad, better follow Dad. So now, okay, so you're teaching her discipline and order. Now, when she gets 18 and she gets out of control and says, fuck you, Dad, I'm doing whatever. Okay, fine. But she doesn't typically get to that point unless she had too much freedom and ability to behave that way. It doesn't happen out of the blue. And when it does happen like that, I've warned you 17 times and imposed consequences. Now you're going to choose this. That's your choice. Get out of here. Do what you want. I'm no longer responsible. So there's a progression here. So saying that a father can, just because a father can't do things perfectly in our modern world and keep her away from harm, doesn't mean that he can't impose limits and train that into her brain that he is actually an authority over her. And that training will benefit her future husband greatly because she's not going to be a difficult woman.
Yes, it will, Steve, but the chances of that happening are vanishingly small because it's a lot of pressure on men. They are not legally allowed to do that. What you're asking them to do to impose boundaries and discipline and all of that.
Bullshit. There's nothing I said there that's illegal. Father goes,
I know that it's,
finds out his daughter's wearing
it's not,
scanty clothes at school, and he goes there and says, I'm pulling her out. We're going home.
yeah, but she can whisper into her mom's ear, and then what will mom do? Oh, you poor thing. That is just
well, that's why
abusive.
The husband has to have authority over the wife and say, okay,
yeah, but
woman,
does he?
Shut up.
Does
okay,
he?
That's okay. We're talking about what should happen in the proper order. You're saying what does happen. No, it doesn't happen. That's why we're in this position we're in, because men don't understand the authority they have in little ways.
Yes, Steve, all of their authority is limited by the crooked legal system that doesn't allow them.
No,
they are allowed. No, they are allowed to do that legally. Go to the school and pull their kid out, saying you're not wearing this shit. You do have that authority.
Then, okay, what are the consequences for them doing that? Okay, they pull out the kid. Let's say, like, one of your kids did that, just hypothetically, okay? Like, you would do that, but you already are divorced, so wouldn't work. Maybe your wife couldn't use it against you, right? But, like, if he's married and then he does it to a kid, and then the wife steps in and says, no, you can't do that. This is physical abuse or whatever, right? Like that restrains her budget or something. This is financial abuse. Then she files for divorce.
No, that won't work because they're minors. It's not abuse. That's being a parent. If he did that to his wife, that'd be different in the eyes of the court. But he actually does have that authority.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And the consequences? How about this? She's wearing those clothes amongst a group of her friends. He finds out where this is happening, when it's happening, and he goes in there and he walks to the middle of the group and he says, "Daughter, this is not acceptable. We're coming home right here, right now." He just embarrassed her in front of all her friends. Is that a consequence, Nick?
Yep. Have I done stuff like that before? For different things? Yeah,
You
I
have?
did.
Okay.
When I had
Just
when I was married, I
embarrass
sure
the
did.
shit out of them.
Sure
That's not
did.
against the law.
I think it also depends. Okay, kids usually they see how moms treat dads as well, and then if there is contempt and disrespect from the wife's side, they will say, okay, right now he can do all of those things, he can restrain me, but mommy says otherwise. So they age, they turn 18 or 21, doesn't, like, I don't know, they just grow, and then they become still rebellious because they are kind of like taking revenge on dad, and then they are basically, even if dad can execute upon those things, because a wife doesn't approve of those, he can still do
Okay.
it. Yeah, but if a wife doesn't approve and say, well, yes, you support the dad, you know what she should
Oh.
do.
Okay. At what point did that man lose? He obviously lost. At what point did he lose? Way in the past, when he allowed his relationship with his wife to be that way, to listen to her and give her control over behavior and the ability to say what should and shouldn't happen. He lost that maybe even before he married her, because she was a bossy bitch and he still married her. She said she was Christian, but she still told him more about the Bible. She didn't listen to his guidance. Okay, he lost back then. Now the kids are going to be raised primarily under her authority, not his. He lost it long before. So that's why this is what came first, the chicken or the egg. Got to marry the right woman, have the dominance and authority over her. But you should marry a woman that respects her father and was restrained by her father. And you got to vet out does she have respect for him? What did she do in this freedom stage in between? You start there, marry her, have kids with her, raise your daughters accordingly for the next generation, so this other man can do the same thing. So what comes first? What's more important, how you raise your daughters or how you manage your vet and manage your wife?
Well, without a wife, there wouldn't be. Yeah, they're kind of like, yeah, like
The chicken and egg problem.
chicken and the egg problem, yes. Yeah, because without a wife, you wouldn't have daughters, but then the daughter turns into a wife. So yeah, you have to do both. You have to restrain both of them, you know. Yeah, and then when you only can restrain your kids, but not your wife, kids learn from it a lot, you know. So they, it's like women using the power almost. I know I shouldn't equate that, but I think psychologically it has a similar effect on kids. When women are screaming at their kids and kids are like, okay, whatever, they grow with that, and then when they turn 18, they can talk back, and then they are no longer scared of mom. So mom can only go so far with her fear and threatening kids to do certain things. Yeah, it's like basing it on fear doesn't always works on some people to a certain degree, to a certain point, and then it stops working because people become not afraid of their parents, and I think a similar concept applies to men raising their kids, so they can train their kids up to a certain age, and then it doesn't matter what you do because they especially when the mother is not on board with the restraint and what the father is doing, when she has her own agenda, she has her own rules. Yeah, they're still technically together married, right? But kids can see that, okay, there is inconsistency there. What dad is saying versus what mom is saying, not the same. They're not on the same boat. Kids figure it out very quickly, very quickly. Even in the group setting, I used to work with kids. This is why I know, I've seen it. So we had like one bad leader. That was me. I was restraining, I was putting boundaries, I was like giving the consequence to them that they needed. My mom was the nice one. They would come, or like my sister, sometimes they would complain to her own me. It's like good cop versus bad cop kind of dynamic. Yeah. But then the good cop has to support the bad one, because this is how it works. Without it, there is no cohesive union there, So yeah, it can lead to, when a wife is not on board with your husband, they can't raise kids properly, even if it looks like the dad is the dominant one, he's the one. Yeah, if she's not 100% on board with him, kids will rebel at some point. At some point, they will figure out that, okay, he's disciplined, he's restrained, whatever he does, it's just abuse, and they will go out.
So maybe, in finding a woman to marry or to have a relationship with, maybe the best and only foolproof thing a man can do is determine, will she follow my lead?
Mm-hmm.
And if she won't, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nick?
You won't follow you, you're sunk. Because she's going to follow whatever she desires, and you're just there along for the ride to do whatever the hell she wants. You will have no say in anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're just the beta bucks chump that gives her resources.
So this following, she can pretend to follow you. Yeah, that can be a mask. The red pill recommends knowing a woman for a year or two minimum before getting married. 6 months is not long enough, because a woman can fake it for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if a woman has psychological problems, BPD, NPD, any of that stuff, listen to the experts. They say, yes, these people can fake it for 6, 9 months, a year. No, it's going to fall apart. 2 years, no, it's going to fall apart. So you have to see if she will follow your lead for a period of 1 to 2 years, maybe 18 months to 2 years, because her maintaining that mask for that long is unlikely if it's not in her nature to follow. I mean, she's going to screw up. And then every time, a woman will eventually tell on herself.
Mm-hmm. They always do.
And she'll reveal her nature.
Mm-hmm.
She can wear a mask for a certain period of time. But if you don't do that and you marry her, now she has this control thing over you, like Elena keeps talking about, legal control. And you're that beta Christian man. Oh, yes, dear. Oh, yes, I
Mhm.
need to serve you better. And so now she gets more tyrannical when that happens. She's revealing her nature. It's never going to change.
Yeah.
And you cannot pray your way out of that. You cannot
Just
love
pray.
her
There was a
enough to
comment. Was it
straighten
like
her
it
up.
was here? Pray harder, love harder. What is it? Here, lead harder, pray better. Jesus harder, bro. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, at that point it's too late. It's too late. Yeah. Well, and see, they are rushing into marriages. Women want to be wiped up as soon as they find a possible appropriate guy, the one who is convenient for her, like in Sarah Stock case. Yeah, she found a convenient husband. She married him. I don't know how long they've been dating. But once they get the guy to propose to them, the engagement is on and they have the wedding and everything. So, yeah, that kind of gives extra time, maybe. And this is how they explain. But we are engaged, see, we are together. And then some weddings are planned way ahead of time in advance. But she already got like what she wanted. He already proposed to her, right? The wedding ceremony is in process at that point. But before that, like, how long did you date her, right? How long have you been together? Yeah, I agree 100%. 6 months is too short. It's nothing. It's in fact, these marriages that happen within the first few months, huge red flag. Huge red flag. She's in a rush.
So with Sarah Stock, we know nothing about her father.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how was she raised? We don't know. She converted to Catholicism. She wasn't a cradle Catholic. She had a conversion experience. It's like similar to be a born again virgin. Oh,
I know.
yes, now I'm going to follow this. Okay, red flag right there.
Yeah, I know.
Secondly, we know nothing about her courting dating process. Did her fiance, was he able to lead her? I think not, because she was an influencer out gallivanting at CPAC and other places and online, and she was her own entity. She wasn't following him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very obvious with the chicks online. Guys, it's not a rocket science. Just stay the fuck away from the online e-girls. They ain't what they ain't shit. They are not traditional. If they have to say that they are traditional and godly and all of those things, and they go to church, they have to beat themselves in the chest and virtue signal hard. They are worthless piece of shit. Honestly,
yes.
stay the fuck away from them.
Let's apply this right here. All you guys out there, stay away from Elena, because she's an influencer. She is her own person. But
I'm already married.
Stay away from her.
You can. I mean, it would be a safe. Yes. Actually, yes, I would say that. Yes, stay away from me too, because I'm on social media. I never say, look, but at least, like, okay, I never said I was traditional. Okay, and I only do it because my husband has all access, and I try to help you guys. But yes, it's safe to stay the fuck away from women on social media, even the ones who are not on social media. See, the safe bet here is the women on social media. They are here for a reason. They just want clout, attention, external validation in general. Okay, we are talking about general here. So yeah, it would be best if you didn't wipe them up. And look, when I dated my husband, I wasn't on social media for over 10 years, we married. I removed. I had social media account long time ago. It's just I didn't post much there, and I completely removed it. And then we started dating. We got married. For many years, I didn't have any social media presence. You don't need it. The women who want to be wives, who want to be mothers, who want to serve their husbands, they don't need social media. They want it for external validation, for attention. Usually, if they are looking for plan B, if they're done with their husbands, they want to monkey branch, they start virtue signaling, exposing themselves, in all kinds of poses, videos, promiscuous clothing. By the way, bikinis are not acceptable behavior for married women. I don't care how beautiful you are, what your intentions are, not appropriate, not good.
Lena, you qualified that too much. It's just not appropriate in women.
Well, yeah, I agree. Well, okay. Single women who are advertising.
No.
Look.
Advertising, they're for the streets. It's not appropriate.
Yes. But Nick, I'm not going to tell them don't do that, because this is how you can point out that, okay, she's for recreational use. So if women want to do it, they're going to do it, then fine.
What?
If they're single, they can do it, but then it's a sign for men to stay away from them.
Do what?
Bikini pictures and videos.
Oh, okay. So a woman can go to the beach and wear a bikini?
Yeah, just don't put it publicly on social media.
Then don't take any pictures and don't post them online.
Yeah, well, you can still, you can take pictures, create your own old-fashioned album, put those pictures in there and show them to your husband. Okay, or you can watch them together.
So, I mean, you're not being a prude. A woman can wear a bikini in the appropriate place.
Yeah.
And then is the appropriate place to post a picture of you wearing a bikini on the beach on the internet? No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, guys, I'm talking about social media here. Okay, so yeah, you don't do it. The only women who do it are honestly the public whores that you should stay away from. You don't wife up a woman, especially the married women who behave that way. It's just so disrespectful. It's very disloyal towards your husband, assuming you're even married. It's inviting the open relationship into your marriage. You have zero respect for your man. No bikini pictures for married women. If you're single, fine. Okay, Nico, when I was saying yes, usually, it's not appropriate for all women on social media, but there will be whores. You won't stop them. At least you will know that she's bad.
It's not appropriate. People are going to do what they want. I'm just saying it's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate. Yeah, I agree with you.
Full stop. Yeah, but it's not appropriate unless you're alone with your husband. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Lingerie. It's lingerie.
It is lingerie.
And the only place for that is in front of her husband. Full stop.
Yes. And
that's Pastor Nick's. Facts.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not going to stop them from doing it. This is why I'm saying that. Well, at least you will know that she's for recreational use only, even if single women do that on social media. And you and by bikini, I mean, it's not just bikini, it's also like the crop tops, like the shorts, the cute slinky dresses, it's all of that is suggestive, and it's promiscuous behavior. It's just attention seeking behavior from multiple men. So instead of committing to one man, they already advertise that they are. And then they could even say that, I'm willing to be loyal. I'm such a loyal wife. I'm like, look, lady, your behavior suggests otherwise. There was one girl, I think I went hard after her last year sometime. She was wearing the lingerie top, with lace. And it was a crop top, and she was saying how awesome of a wife she would be. She was obviously virtue signaling and LARPing for clout. And there were so many sims who were like, oh my gosh, you're just saying all of these things, such a great woman. Oh, and I'm like, you guys are fools, because you're giving her exactly what she wants. And I bet this is how Sarah Setka or Sarah Stock got what she wanted, because men are like, oh yes, you are saying all of these socially acceptable things. Wow.
There's behavior that's even much worse than that. Very common behavior in Christian women, Christian wives. Oh no, I'm not going to let my husband see me naked, or I'm not going to dress in sexy clothes for him, or no, we're not going to make love with the lights on. No, we have to shut off the lights. And no, we're not doing anything wild here. Nope. I don't want you to see me as a piece of meat, as a sexual object. Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so she imposes these restrictions. She doesn't get the admiration. She doesn't allow her husband to see her as an object of desire. But and this is the Christian thing. He should love her for who she is, not just for her body. Hey, women, he can do both, okay? And he should do both, because you need that beauty admiration. You need to be seen as an object of desire. How do I know that? Because all the young women dress as objects of desire to get male attention. And then you Christian wives, you may not want it from your husband, but oftentimes then you will dress in a more provocative, it doesn't even have to be crop tops or any of that shit, just in a more attractive manner to get the attention from other men, that you lambast your husband when he looks at you with a sparkle in his eye and say, damn, that's fine. That is even more dishonest.
It is more, yeah.
I lived it.
Yeah. Well, they are willing to be public whores for everyone else, but they don't want to be a private whore for their husband. Well, but now we see neo-feminists saying, well, you can be both, ladies. You can be a public whore and well, they don't actually say it. I'm putting the words in their mouth in a way, but I'm trying to explain the idea here. They are saying that, okay, fuck your husband, crazy. Okay, put out. You just fuck him because he needs sex. He can't survive without it and all of that crap. This is their falsification bubble. They're trying to convince men that men need sex. So you fuck him crazy, but also by doing so, what they do is like they're just signaling, like, look at me, I'm fucking my husbands like crazy. I'm such a loyal wife. I'm perfect. Your wife should sign up for my courses, and everyone just should listen to me. And then the same content creators will criticize men for not leading women enough or well according to how they prescribe, So instead of listening to your wife, listen to me, because I can tell you the truth here. I can solve the problem that you are having in your family with your wife who doesn't want to fuck you. All of these female relationship gurus, this is what they are doing. Yeah, they tell men like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if your wife fucked you? Well, of course, like men like think, okay, yeah, that would be great, So they basically tell men what men wants to hear, and then the fact that they are even there telling men how men are supposed to live their lives, it already contradicts all of the hierarchy, and they're not supposed to do that, right? Like, you are married, well then, like, stay married, serve your husband, do what he tells you to do. You don't need to virtue signal on social media.
Okay, I want to kind of pose another question. Comes up from the Sarah Stock thing. Oh, okay. Guy, the husband, he's actually, I feel sorry for him. He's
I feel
probably
sorry for
similar to
him.
me when I was young. How could he have known? Okay, so where in the entire world, who's talking about solutions?
Red pill.
Is the church talking about solutions to this problem? Or is the
No.
red pill talking about solutions to this problem?
It's the red pill.
Well, the church's solution is wipe up this horse and ignore what they did. Because we need to pump up those numbers. We need more children.
The tradcons and the Christian male bloggers and video, influencers, they're practicing spin control. Trying to dismiss this. Well, it doesn't really mean this, but men, you still need to step up and do this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, okay, you're not guaranteed, but it's your duty to have children and to wife them up, and find a good Christian woman. They teach men how to do this, to what to look for, any aspect of that? No, they don't. Red pill. Okay, this has been the focus of the red pill. And there have been many men from a long time ago that addressed this. The issue, okay, you're married. You're not getting laid by your wife. Oh, does the church have a solution to that? No. Okay, there are a lot of wrong solutions in the red pill, but they're looking for it. Has Dalrock addressed this issue? He hasn't really proposed a solution, or he didn't, but has he addressed that? Yeah. Athol K. Married man sex life.
Mm-hmm.
That is over 10 years ago. He wrote a book on it. He was trying to address that issue. Who else? Thor? Was he trying to address that? Dominant masculine presence?
Yeah.
Have guys talked about dread game and the positive use of dread game
to
get sex with your wife?
Ryan Stone. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Rollo. He wrote a book about this. Rollo, okay, like him or dislike him, he's done a lot of good out there. And Rollo is a married man, still married, long marriage, and he's not anti-marriage. And he helps out married men too. Okay, sure, there's plenty of things that you can disagree with. There's plenty of things you can disagree with what I'm saying. But my point is, the red pill is trying to address this problem. The red pill is trying to teach men, okay, here's the real nature of women. Okay, you can understand the real nature of women and still want a woman. If you understand the real nature of woman, here's what you can do to find a woman and to keep a woman. Yep. They are trying to address this. The church is not. And the church then demonizes the red pill. Oh, those are a bunch of degenerates. Okay, you church people, you better find out your own solution for this. And it's not just Jesus harder.
I'll tell you what their solution is. Wipe up those whores. So in the red pill, we say some women are for recreational, and in fact, most women are for recreational use, especially the ones on big podcast, guys. I've been saying it for a few years now. Yes, in the red pill, we do say that, like, with certain women, you just spin plates, okay? You fuck around. This is what they use. You don't wipe them up. The church doesn't like that aspect of you not wiping up the public horse that they want you to wipe up. They want you to ignore.
Be careful there, Elena. Just because the purpose of those women is to be a plate to be spun does not mean you're advocating that men go out and spin those plates.
No, I'm not. I'm against that idea. Actually, I think
there are two things here.
Mhm.
Yes, they're for recreational use only, but that doesn't mean we're advocating you go use them for recreational use.
Yeah.
Just
Well, and some will
stay
some
away.
men. Okay, yeah, we say that explicitly. We say it's safer to stay away from these public wars, and it's safer to stay away from marriage. Women ain't worth it in general. Will some men still choose to spin plates and fuck these women who are for recreational use? Yes, sure, it's their choice, but it's also the choice of these women because they. How did they end up there? Well, they were spreading their legs too much. Women always historically they were responsible for contraception and what gets into their body, and by what I mean like how many penises get into their body. Okay, it was always on women. Now just blaming the PUA guys for using these women, I mean, like, yeah, we can maybe say that it's not like, I don't know, I just, but blaming everything on men, it's like women in the end they want to be fucked by these men. Women have a say in it too. Women have agency. The women who don't want to be fucked by PUA guys, they don't spread their legs. And it's not like, well, I used to fuck around with the bad boys. Now I preserve my virginity. Anita, do you remember one of those series? I preserve my virginity, my second virginity, only for my husband.
Oh, is it true or is it a mask?
Well, it's obviously a mask because, like, you can only lose your virginity once, based on anatomy. During your first intercourse, ladies, that's it. There is no second virginity. There is only one virginity, and you lost it long time ago with your first boyfriend. With your very, very first intercourse. I don't care whether you were in a relationship with that guy or it was a one-night stand. Doesn't matter. Biology doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
You broke that time, or what it's called, and that's it. That's it. It happens only once. The rest of it is like, oh, I'm my second virginity here. I don't fuck around. This is why I see these hypocritical women who preach Bible, who quote Bible for us, and then you ask them a simple question: did you lose your virginity to your husband? And then they are quiet. They don't say anything because they know better. They know better that, like, the truth is that no, they fucked around just like any other whore out there. And now all they have is just the Bible in their hands, proving them like, oh, look, but I'm such a virtuous woman. I quote the Bible here and women are doing this and men are supposed to provide and take care. And let's just have families and kids and like you women stay at home, be well taken care of, stay at home wives. You want to go to back to the biblical standard? Let's bring dowry back. Let's bring like you can't undo the fuck ups that women did. All of that high body count that is hanging on them, even on you yourself when you're preaching the Bible to others. A simple question: did you lose your virginity to your husband? If not, you are a whore. Oh, you were a whore at some point. And now, well, thanks to your husband, because he picked you up, he wiped you up, he cleaned you from all of your messes, from all of your disgrace. You should be kissing the feet of the ground he walks on and be grateful for him that he bailed you out from that. And instead they're like, well, I'm so superior morally. I'm here going to preach the Bible to others and tell how others are supposed to live their lives. Go fuck yourself. I mean, I'm sick and tired of this bullshit. I'm sick and tired of this hypocrisy.
You feeling better there?
Yes, I'm venting today, apparently.
I guess. You're talking about the land of make-believe. And this happens there. Absolutely it does. Doesn't happen in reality, though.
No, it's just like the audacity that women have today. Like the moment they open the Bible, like, okay, now what? You are all used up whores. What, are we supposed to buy into what you are saying just because you quote a few phrases from the Bible for us? Shut up and go serve your husband so that nobody sees who you are. Like, just men should listen to other men, not women. Especially when they claim some kind of like moral superiority over other women. I mean, like, what, are you somehow cleaner? Are you somehow cleaner because you got wiped up and okay, you had, instead of 300 cocks, you had maybe, let's say, 30 cocks. You are somehow better than the girl who had 300 cocks. There was the analogy that Orion Taraban actually brought up. You know, he was associating it with a serial killer. Well, I didn't kill 300 people. I just killed 30 people. So doesn't it make me like better, or doesn't it relieve me from accountability for my choices? No, you still chose to fuck those 30 dudes, or whatever your number is. You're still guilty.
Very true. It's happening now. The world is changing. Young men are not going to the church because the church doesn't have the answers to the biggest questions in their minds. And biggest questions are all about men and women. The sex drive is real. That's what, I mean, God made the sex drive in us. Don't demonize it. It's what drives men and women to get together. And Red Pill is trying to help these young men. The church is trying to demonize the Red Pill men and has no solution. Mm-hmm. And young men are not going to the church. They're not really doing much of anything. They are basically on strike.
Yeah.
So society is changing. You can't dismiss this. And then things like Sarah Stock come up. And damn, here's more evidence of all the stuff we've been talking about in the Red Pill. And the church guys, we got to practice damage control. Keep these guys on the plantation. It's not working.
Mm-hmm. How about keeping women restrained? Change the laws, okay? You want to keep men in the plantation. The marriage would do that to men. But how about making laws more appealing to men to consider marriage even? Because women today, okay, and I want to talk to Shah, our friend, about this, and I did reach out to him. At some point we'll have him back. We will talk about dowry and laws, okay? So yeah, you want men to wife up these whores. We know that women have high body count today. They are lacking pair bonding. They have entitled attitude. They're just not wife material, period. But okay, to make it more appealing to men, how about restraining female bad behavior? How about that? Okay, you want to keep men in the plantation. How about restraining women? Keep them in some kind of plantation. I mean, give custody to men, right? And this is what the neo-feminists, all of these church ladies, they try. They really want to stay away, and they say, we don't engage in the political discussions, but you do. You do, by saying that women should be stay-at-home moms and just focus on raising kids when their husbands are providing for them and taking care of them. There was one girl, I shared it on my Instagram stories, guys. And she says, why should I work 9 to 5 when my husband can buy me everything? Like, so she wants a slave. They still want a slave. They want a man to wife them up, where they get all of the feminist privileges. They appeal to traditionalism, right? But like, and they even quote the Bible. in order for us to go back to that, let's undo some damage. We can't undo social media. We can't undo technological advancements. We can't undo medical advancements, right? Well, at least let's put some legal restraint on women. Let's restrain the custody that women get, okay? Men get 100% custody. Remove alimony and child support so women don't get paid after they choose to divorce or leave their husbands for whatever reason. How about that? Will they do it?
Hold
Will they
on.
do it? No.
Elena,
Nick is laughing.
all those things will happen in your lifetime.
I can't wait.
You're going to have to wait 40, 50 years.
Yeah, right.
They are not going to be done proactively.
I know. Would be better.
They're going to be done after women are so desperate.
Yeah.
That oh yes, do this. Oh yes. That women will be the ones who beg.
I'm begging for it now. I'm begging for the restraint because I realize that we need it. All women need that kind of restraint, even the good ones. Even I need that restraint. I want to be legally restrained so that, if the laws were in place, consider this. People who want to raise the birth rates, who are so concerned about the chart on the line, okay? And they say, we need more babies. Okay, look, my and my husband's conclusion. If I was more legally restrained, we would have kids. We would have kids.
So,
because the hormones, watch this. I talked to my husband about it. The hormones with women after giving birth, they change. Women are no longer the same women, and yeah, we can do another live stream on that, how it changes and everything.
Okay.
And there is a lot of research on that. So women, they don't feel the same, they don't act the same, they are not the same people after giving birth. And allowing them to rule the life of others and then making laws to suit their hormones and feelings by assigning them the custody, they are so unstable. Look, when pregnancy affects our brain, it affects our biology, chemistry, everything. Why would a rational person ever give rights to a woman who is so unstable? And I don't mean in a bad way, okay? Like, it just affects our hormones, it affects everything. But like, there is a reason why when men are in charge, our world is a better place. It's more stable.
Oh, I know.
It's less chaotic. You allow hormones to rule your life, the disaster is coming.
Oh, I know. It sounds to me like you're willing to give up all your rights and power and everything, and even more, if it meant you could have a baby.
Yes.
See, that's foretelling the future. I mean, women,
it's
and women will give up everything for a roof over their head.
Yes.
A warm bed and a meal when they can't do it themselves. Did you hear about that women-only island in Iceland?
Oh, yes, I saw that experiment. I did share it with you guys on my Instagram. And I did share a couple of videos here on my channel as well.
So this women-only island, only women can be there. After men went in, built all the infrastructure and cabins and everything, and then it was only women. But then, okay, we're going to have to shut down for a week so the men can come in and fix things.
Yeah.
Like unplug the toilets and whatnot. And then it'll be only women again.
Yeah. It doesn't end well. It doesn't. Look, I made a post on Twitter a while ago. men can survive. And then it's like, you can see how neo-feminists are trying to creep in that, well, men can't survive without women, men need women to procreate, men need women to do things, we need to complement each other. So they're trying to raise their own value in the eyes of the men who are still buying this bullshit. But the reality is that men can survive without women perfectly fine for 90 years. 90
Guys,
years.
I gotta head out and move some dirt.
Okay, Nick, take care. Great to have you here today. Thank you for joining us. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to the end here.
Yeah,
We're
we are
just
closing.
rambling
We are
now.
wrapping up. Yeah. Yeah, men can survive without women for 90 years. Women cannot survive without men for 3 months. And then the women who are like, well, I don't need men, you know, I don't need, I have everything, right? My food gets delivered here, but who delivers your food? The truck driver. Who is usually the truck driver? Oh, here you see Steve in front of you, a man. Who is carrying heavy shit? You take for granted all of these shelves in the supermarket. You go to buy groceries. Who is carrying? And I'm not putting. I don't mean like putting individual bottles on the shelves, okay? But like carrying this stuff that comes in bulk. Oh, you think it's women? Oh, we will hurt our back so much, and then we can't give birth to the children.
Oh, hold on. Women can do those jobs. Because everything I deliver comes on a pallet. And then you move the pallet with a pallet fork. Drag it across the store to the place, and then you plunk it down. And then everything is in a box, and you unpack the box, and you take the stuff, and you put it on the shelf. Women do that job. Not a lot of women, but they do that job.
Yeah.
But it is funny, though. I deliver to several stores. There is one store that is predominantly women working there.
Mm.
There's a lot more like infighting and complaining and just it's
shocker.
You know, man, there's always things that go wrong.
Always drama.
Okay, you're gonna every week or two you're gonna bust something. It breaks. Okay, and it's not, and sometimes it's my fault, sometimes it's not. I'm not perfect, but it's always, if that happens, and it's women looking at it, it's drama. Oh my God, and they criticize you. If men do it, shit. Guess we got to clean that up. And then it's forgotten about.
Mm-hmm.
It's the dynamic is completely different.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I would be scared, honestly. It would be disaster if I ended up on the island with women, just women. Scary.
Yes, we know, Elena, you don't get along well with women.
I get along fine with some women who are, you know, not totally lunatics, you know.
So, okay,
I have a couple of female friends, you know.
Let's just close this out on Sarah Stock.
Yeah, let's do this.
Mask or reality? Obviously, the reality was different than the mask she was wearing. And this is a common thing. It's not just the bad women who wear a mask. It's part of female nature. This is how they this is just part of it. And so it's the male job to understand her nature is to put on a mask to be seen in a positive light. The man has to realize this and say, okay, how I need to discern this to figure out what the reality is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my husband is here. Hi, darling.
Hello.
Well, we are still live talking about Sarah Stock. We are wrapping it up.
I know.
So, yeah. Yeah, the mask, and they want you to think that the mask is the reality.
Of course. Why else would you put a mask on?
Yeah. Yeah, I just wish there were more consequences for this kind of behavior for women.
Never gonna happen.
It would be good. But it's like, okay, now she left social media, so what are the other consequences? I mean, will her husband divorce her?
Probably not, but you can't rule it out.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's too early. I mean,
It's too, yeah. Yeah, this is why I wanted to wait and see like how what would be the outcome.
that's months and that's
Months.
It's months, years.
And we
We'll
probably won't
never find out.
find out because he's not a public person, and then she removed herself from.
No, we will find out. Some internet sleuth will go back and
Well,
look
probably, yeah.
in 6 months or a year and tell us the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Right. The thing is, I mean, as far as consequences go, I mean, you're saying, oh well, yeah, she left social media.
It's not.
For women-
No, it's not hard enough.
It's a big one for women. I know it's not big enough because you want her publicly flogged, but it's a big one.
She left. Okay, darling. She left for how long? How long until she will be back? Because we all know that these women, they can't help themselves. Under a different name, maybe she will create a different name, you know?
Maybe.
It's just like social media is okay. I didn't have social media when we started it. I didn't. My life wasn't significantly different from like what it is right now. You know, like having social media is not a detrimental consequence that would alter your like force her to face the face reality.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just say that it's not a big consequence, or did you just say you're not a broken woman who needs a lot of attention, public attention?
Again, can you? I'm sorry.
Did you just say that it's not a big consequence, or that you're not a broken woman who needs a lot of attention? Steve gets it.
In Sarah's case, or
Steve knows what I'm trying to get at.
I don't know.
Yes, all women need it.
All women,
attention.
yeah, they want it.
All women are broken to a certain extent.
Uh-huh.
Is she manageable? That's the real question.
Well, the point that I'm getting at here is, if you're someone like Sarah Stock who needs endless attention and was getting that from being the social media darling, do you think she'll be back? Of course she'll be back.
Yes, she will be back.
That's a given.
Mm-hmm.
She'll just repent harder.
Right.
If Nala can come back or enter the church after everything she's done,
yeah,
surely Sarah can contrive a narrative and repent.
It was just one dude that we know. What's your body count based on that logic? Okay, last year she announced that she was a virgin on whatever podcast, and then obviously she fucked Elijah, and then okay, so there is only one that we know of.
So if Alana ran the world, Sarah Stock would be brought to the public square, put on a platform, and then have her neck and wrists put in a pillory or a stockade. And then about 20 feet away, there would be a pile of rotten tomatoes. And we could all line up and throw rotten tomatoes at her. And she couldn't escape.
Oh, pretty well. Okay, what did she do? Okay, guys, and Pearl, I think Pearl did call it out. So the moment the truth was revealed, right? She couldn't handle it anymore. She couldn't handle the criticism, so she ran away. From the criticism that she was getting for her own actions. So it's avoiding. In your case, getting off social media is avoiding some consequences for her own behavior, because she didn't get social media to produce her the outcomes that she wanted. She got criticism instead, right? People were poking fingers at her and saying, well, bad apple there,
What Plutarch is trying
left.
to say is social media is a drug for her, the attention.
Yes.
So now she is forced away from her drug supply, her adoration, her attention, and she's going to be going through great withdrawal. It's going to drive her nuts. That in itself is a consequence.
It is, but she's also, she knows what she's doing. She is at the same time trying to avoid the consequences. Yeah, she will probably play it out elsewhere. Like I said, she probably will create another account at some point.
Don't care. You think that all matters, because this whole thing is not about her. It's not. The reason that the tradcon right is having an absolute meltdown over this is not what she did. I'm not convinced that they actually care what she did. Okay. The tradcon right is having a meltdown on this one because it's what I wrote to Rachel Wilson in her post on this. The tradcon right's having a meltdown over this because they held her up as the example. The woman who did it right, was a virgin when she got married, she got married in the church. She even had her marriage blessed by the Pope himself, God's own voice into the world. And then they find out that she's just like every other one of the whores that us red pill guys talk about. Yes. And so now the tradcon right has to confront us evil, immoral, lowly red pill guys.
Degenerate.
Yes, us degenerate red pill guys.
Yeah.
The problem here is not her. Okay.
Yeah.
What she did is exactly what I expect women to do on days ending in the letter Y. Okay. This is normal woman shit.
Well, especially with unrestrained behavior and no consequences for the. What do we expect women to do?
This is normal women shit with even when there are consequences applied.
That's true.
Okay.
Maybe we would see less of it, but yeah, we would still
see
see
less. That's the best you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You have to accept that this is normal woman shit. And that is the pill that none of these guys want to take. That is the red pill. These guys are having and I'm referring to these tradcon right men. I don't give a shit about the women. It's the tradcon right men who are having so much trouble with what's going on here. Because she was I need my meme video of we can't play it on this channel because it'll get copyrighted. But you know, the scene in when Obi-Wan's yelling at Darth Vader, you know, and he says, "You were the, you know, how could you betray us? You were the chosen one."
Mm-hmm.
She was the chosen one. She was the one who was going to bring the light of Christianity to the world by slaying the dragon of female nature. No, he was.
Yeah.
And now she can't do that. Now the most pure virgin in the world is outed as a degenerate whore. And the only message that the tradcon right guys can have it now is, well, we got nothing.
Well, you know what? They actually would blame the man because they are even willing to say that he ignored the red flags. She wasn't a proper woman. This is what Steven Crowder was saying yesterday. They will agree with some points of the red pill, I think, insofar as to still alleviate her accountability and.
Well, what did I say in our
say that
group
it was
chat
his
last
fault.
night? What did I say in our group chat last night?
I'll have to check.
It was something very wise. I know that.
Yes.
The beatings will continue until they are swept aside by reality.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
these tradcon men are going to keep elevating women.
Yes.
That is going to happen. Okay? Yeah, okay, so here's my post. I'm going to read Rachel's post and then I'm going to read my response to it because it's still true today.
You can show it to us, Darlene, if you want to, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I can probably get it on screen here.
Mm-hmm.
If you give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you guys see that? Can you read that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rachel says, okay, now I'm kind of black-pilled. It feels like every time I give one of these women the benefit of the doubt, I'm just playing the fool. Nobody's perfect. I'm not morality policing. But can't they ever just be who they tell you are just for once? No, they can't. This is me responding to her. Because if they did tell you who they were, you would shun and ostracize them, which, for a purportedly Christian woman, is a punishment worse than death. Okay?
Yeah.
There are women who will admit it, but they will never be popular, especially with Christians, precisely because they admit who they are. Nobody wants to listen to a broken person, much less somebody who is willing to admit they are broken, even if that is exactly who you should listen to. A core problem in the Christian right-wing space is that they firmly believe that if only it could find a woman of sufficient virtue, she could solve the problem of female nature and slay the scourge of female sin. And thus the cycle of the Christian right wing finding a shiny new toy, raising her up to undeserved heights of clout, discovering that she is not who she claimed to, or not what she claimed to be, then casting her out continues unabated. And the insane thing is that no part of this cycle has even the thinnest of connections to Christian teaching. Christians have fallen so far that they cannot see the obvious. Women cannot solve this problem because the problem is their very nature. Men can, barely, and only with the application of overwhelming force. The cycle shall continue because the fallen nature of the Christian right wing demands it.
And at the end, you said it's going to require overwhelming force.
Yes, sir.
Men do not want to do that.
Yes, sir.
They will not. That's why it hasn't happened. Men don't want to use force against women.
Yes.
They will as a last resort when there are no other options. All the delusions have been swept away, and the women are begging to have force used against them just to get a meal, a warm bed, and a roof over their head.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're going to have to beg the men to do it. Oh, am I looking forward to this day? No. No, it may, hopefully, it doesn't happen in my lifetime. Or maybe, hopefully, it does. Because the sooner we start addressing this, the sooner it'll be solved. But I'm not advocating for this. I'm just recognizing that this is the most probable outcome.
I've gotten to the point mentally, Steve, where I believe that it's the only outcome.
It is the only outcome. What other options do we have? What other solutions?
We do have that you know what? We could have the second coming of Jesus Christ. Then we wouldn't have to solve this. And we'd just be all taken up to heaven or sent to hell. And then we don't have to solve
Well,
it.
in this way we would all avoid consequences.
Oh, no. That is not how that works. No, what he's literally saying is the entire earth gets raptured and we all experience the consequences.
Okay.
The rapture, the evangelicals think this rapture is going to save us.
Well, I mean,
from nasty stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, we won't learn the lesson, you know.
No, well, okay. Elena, you're skipping ahead here.
Okay.
The reason why the rapture won't happen right now is because there are too many lessons for humans to learn yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
You see, the the Revelation is very clear about when the rapture would happen, and that would requires 7 years of absolute global peace. That ain't happening right now. So one of the biggest markers of the rapture is simply not happening right now.
Well, I don't even want to get into this. I'm just saying,
Right.
The rapture's not happening. It was kind of a farcical statement. Yeah, you're right. The outcome of overwhelming force, the use of overwhelming force, and civil disruptions and civil unrest. Yes, it's going to happen. The breakdown of law. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to be every man for himself. And then we will form tribes. And then the women will beg to be on the inside of the tribe. And yeah, okay, just keep me safe. I'll do whatever. Okay. And the men are going to be focused on survival of themselves, their family, and their women, but they're not going to have time to put up with any lip from them, from those women. So it's going to solve itself.
Yeah.
In some manner.
I wouldn't.
Now, could it happen soon? Maybe. Could it happen in 50 years or 100 years? Maybe.
Here's the thing. I'm not too worried about the tradcons. They get exposed.
Yeah.
Because what I would argue is, and sorry, Matt Walsh, sorry, Michael Knowles, you might have read the Bible, but you do not understand the Bible. See, there's this belief in Christianity that if you read the Bible, then you must be, I don't know, a good person. You must be, you must have a better understanding of the world than somebody who doesn't. You just need to read the Bible, and I see this all the time. Now, Pastor Nick ain't here today.
Oh, he was. Yeah.
He was.
left
Okay.
Shortly before you showed up. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I think he would agree with most people who read the Bible don't actually actually understand the Bible.
Mhm.
They read the words, but I think what's happened is we've started to, and I think this is why Pastor Nick reads the old King James version, is people read the words, but they read the words with the modern the modern meanings.
Interpretation, yeah.
You know, what does the word love mean in the modern world? Oh, I feel. Love is a feeling, and when I'm in love with somebody, there's sunshine and rainbows, and you know, I'm on cloud nine. Love has become a word that describes a state of our own selves. And so when we read the word love in the Bible, we interpret it as a state of self-love. That is not there's no part of the Bible that actually ever describes love that way. There's no part of the Bible where the word love is used that way. But that's how people read the Bible.
What
and that's
is
how
love?
Well,
Love is sacrifice. Love is an act of the will.
yes.
well, and see, they will, they won't mind parsing it insofar as, okay, women read it as like love, self-love, right? But they want men to sacrifice themselves. They are okay.
No.
by the double
What
standard.
I'm saying is worse than that. Steve got it.
Mm.
I'm saying that these men read it that way.
Well, they have the modern mindset, and yeah, like they're trying to bring back those traditional values,
Oh,
let's say.
I'll
What
never
I'm
get
saying-
there.
But
This idea
they
that
can't get
love
there.
is a warm, fuzzy feeling
Yeah.
in my emotions. Yeah, that's why we're right where we're at. No, love is duty. Love is an act of will. Love is logos. I said I would do this. I will do this. I will sacrifice. I will give my very life for my salvation, to be true to God, to protect my wife, to protect my children. I will take the hard path. I need to raise my children upright. I need to discipline them. I need to lead my wife. That means saying no to her. Oh, it's going to hurt her feelings and she won't have warm fuzzies. I don't care. I love her.
Mhm.
Therefore, I need to make the right decision, and be damn if I hurt someone's feelings. That's love.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, if I were to sit down with a Michael Knowles, Steve, he'd agree with about half that. He'd agree with you should sacrifice yourself for.
This is what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he'd agree with that.
Mhm.
The part he wouldn't agree with is that you have to deliver consequences on your woman.
Yes.
That's the part he wouldn't like, because here's the thing. Bible does talk about the concept of sacrificial love. Michael Knowles is smart enough to pull that out
Yes,
of the
and
Bible,
they usually do.
and they usually do.
Mhm.
But because love is a self-focused feeling in the modern interpretation, they interpret it as a self-sacrificial thing. It's not, I have to sacrifice my own feelings for the betterment of this other person. It's, I have to sacrifice so that this other person doesn't have to sacrifice, that this other person doesn't have to feel pain. I have to take their consequence on myself. And these guys will tell themselves that, oh, well, that's a Christ-like thing to do. It is a Christ-like thing because Christ took the sins of the world on himself. I must take the sins of my woman
Yes.
on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you can make that argument.
Yeah.
And that is true. But it's not the whole story.
What, Steve? What? That's not the whole story?
Hey, the greatest act of mercy was Christ on the cross.
Mhm.
Okay. That doesn't mean there are no consequences for people. Doesn't mean that everything is all rainbows and Skittles.
You're telling Steve, are you telling me that there are still temporal consequences to actions today?
Wow.
How can this be?
Yes. Oh, St. Paul said it. It's an inconvenient verse for Protestants. I make up in myself what was missing on the cross. Oh, I thought Jesus did everything. That's heresy. There was something missing on the cross. Yeah, there was. What was missing? You uniting your sufferings with Christ. You have to be willing to do it and suffer along with him. And if you're not willing to take on those sufferings and sufferings in your life, and you just expect a rainbow existence, I guess you're not making up what was lacking on the cross. And it was you, each of us individually, is what's lacking. We need to take up the cross and follow him. There are profound meanings that most people just gloss over in the Bible.
Steve, it's one of the things that I keep coming back to is exactly that. There are things in the Bible that I think people read and they have no idea the profound impact of what those words are really trying to tell you. And I think this is a disease that affects even the most devout of Christians these days. We were talking about this with Nick. I think it was after the Wednesday show. It's like, or maybe it was during it even, where we were just like, Nick was describing his experience growing up and about what was going on in the around him at the church, and he was saying, "But this is not okay. The Bible says this is not okay." Right. And he was just like flabbergasted that people were just wandering around. We were talking about the transing and whatnot, and he was just like, but this isn't okay. The Bible says it's not okay. How do you people get to it being okay? Because Nick, for his many problems in life, has the gift of being able to read the words, understand the word, and understand the words how they mean. But we can't do that today. We don't have that today, but we assume that we do. We assume that. Go ahead.
Now, I have a question. Is it due to the lack of understanding of the difference in the cultural difference between the times when the Bible was written and then how, like, the mindset that people had back then, and also the social order that was in place back then versus now?
Okay, then how did Nick get it?
Well, Nick studied a lot, and he.
Yeah, but how did he understand it even at a younger age?
Well, he has very high IQ, and
one of the hardest things, I think, particularly for tradcons to accept, and this is why I think so many of them come across as charismatics, even, and the modern Christian obsession with feelings. Now, I'm not saying that Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh are in that camp, but so much of Christianity is infested with it. And so it's not really that the words cannot be understood. Okay. It's more, so it's not that the words of the Bible cannot be understood. They can be understood. I think it's more no one's really been taught. Because, like, for okay, you don't know this because you didn't grow up in a Protestant church in the West, but the Bible is taught to children from a young age, and it is taught by a pastor, and the pastor will have some sort of well, in the Catholic Church, or no, it was the Episcopal Church, they have this called the Book of Common Prayer. In the Catholic Church, I think there's like a 4 or 5 year cycle of you're going to read the entire Bible or something. There's a schedule basically of stuff you're going to read, right? And the pastor, priest, etc., is expected to deliver a sermon on that. But so you read the Bible and then you're told what to think about the Bible. So the corruption of the church was not the corruption of the Bible. The corruption of the church was the corruption of the people teaching the Bible. It was the corruption of what was transmitted to the people. And so now, today, you have generations of people who have never known anything other than a corrupted interpretation, a corrupted sermon on the Bible.
And it wasn't the cycle of what was taught that was the corruption.
Yes.
Because smart man said, okay, we got this whole book, and we need to go through the whole thing in a cycle. We need to cover everything. We're going to prescribe it because we want this message out there to the people. And the Catholics said, okay, we're looking at the Old Testament. We're going to pick an Old Testament reading that prefigures and relates to the New Testament. And then there's going to be an epistle reading. And okay, here is the continuity of faith. And we're prescribing this out there as a standard. And then everybody gets to hear this standard. We're not giving leeway to the pastors to pick and choose verses here and there. Oh, I picked 30 verses, 10 verses with the word love in there. I'm going to preach a sermon on love.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
just...
That's kind of absurd because you can come up.
I think
you can paraphrase. You can do that and come up with any message you want by parsing the Bible.
Yeah, if they are parsing, they are lacking context. Because this is what like coming back to my previous point that I was trying to make. Like, they are trying. Like, they have the modern mindset. They are trying to apply their modern interpretation on those passages that they want to read and people to get, and they're not preaching it how.
Okay, well, so here's the thing. What Steve described is how the Catholic Church does it, and the Episcopal Church used to do it,
and the Lutherans.
Yeah, and there's Protestant churches. Yeah, there's Protestant churches out there who follow the similar kind of
the liturgical churches.
Yes. My point is not that construct of teaching the Bible is bad. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that the people teaching it were corrupted.
Well, they're taking it out of context. Like, look, if
how they corrupted it is uninteresting.
Yeah, true. They are corrupting it. Yeah.
How it was done is people often want to spend a lot of time, but how did they do it? How did they do it? No. Once you recognize that it was done, you reject it and move on. You don't need to spend a year parsing.
There are myriad ways to do that.
Yes.
You gloss over certain things. You might omit certain things. You change the emphasis.
Steve.
And it creates a different thing, different message.
Yeah.
Well, and that, so I did a Bible study. This was actually this Bible study was a little bit what contributed to me walking away from the church, believe it or not. Not all of it, but it was, the Bible study was titled, The Bible Inside the Brackets. So if you've ever read the Book of Common Prayer, you will see that the Bible verses, parts of it have brackets around a phrase or sentence or whatever of the word. The part inside the brackets is not spoken in the readings in church. Okay? So the church will put the words in the Book of Common Prayer. This is the BCP 1938. This is 1938 BCP that we were working out of. And the pastor, when he's reading, will not read the words in the brackets. He's not allowed to read them. Okay? You can read them because they're still printed in the Book of Common Prayer, but you have to pick up the book and read them. How many people do you think in church picked up the book and read them?
About 2%.
That's actually, in the churches I was in growing up, that's about right. So there was context that the church itself, for whatever reason, chose to edit out of the readings. Think about that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. In the Catholic Church, they have brackets. Okay, Sunday readings. Ephesians 5. We're going to teach on Ephesians 5. They put that whole thing in brackets. Doesn't mean don't read it. It means it's optional. Here's an optional other thing to talk about. Brackets. Okay, I don't know that they were done pre-Vatican II, but post-Vatican II, yes, there are brackets in the readings in the Catholic Church. Don't kid yourself.
Okay, so Steve, you have guys like Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles, avowed Catholics, who they've read the words, but because the church de-emphasizes them by bracketizing them, they don't even realize that they too are de-emphasizing them. Well, pastor, he doesn't talk about this part. He just kind of says, yeah, here's some words. If he might read them, but that's not what he talks about. And this is what I mean by the corruption. So, and this was something that I've noticed, particularly after my red pilling. And this is one of the things that really did send me away from the church, was a pastor might even read the full thing, because obviously the church, at least in the Protestant side, couldn't stop them from reading between the brackets. Okay. And so they might read them, but they wouldn't talk about those words. They wouldn't, or if they were forced to talk about them, they would shade how they talked about it. So the classic example, of course, is, the sermon that, is, the sermon that you have to give as a pastor every couple of years on sexual sin, like we are talking about today, right? It's that sermon will be fire and brimstone for the men.
Mm-hmm.
You so much as cast a side eye at porn, you're going to hell forever. Okay. But the female sexual sin, if it got any mention at all, it would be, well, ladies, yeah, that's a sin.
Don't do it.
Don't do that. It's not good.
But it was you were probably led to that by some bad man.
But you were probably led to that by some bad man.
Well, and see how she responded even.
Of course. Yes.
He drugged me. It was him. I wasn't aware. And all of that bull crap. Like, come on.
Okay. Why is she doing that? This is the part that I'm really trying to get at. Mm-hmm. That she did it doesn't surprise me at all. And I'm to the point where I'm not interested in talking about what,
She did it.
Okay?
Yeah. We want to falsely accuse men all the time. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Again, days ending in Y, news at 11. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Because it works with the Christian men.
Okay, but Steve, why does it work? And the answer is in what we were just talking about. It works because all the pastors gloss over sexual sin of women. And then they say, oh, well, but some man led you to do that. See, in the church, there's this fascinating dichotomy here. On one hand, no, you need to be a servant leader. Okay, you need to lead her, right? But you need to serve her as you're doing it. You need to serve her needs, and then that is leading her. Okay, so we've got the servant leadership, but the moment that she commits a sexual sin, well, now the man is elevated to the full authority. Like, clearly, if a woman commits a sexual sin, she was led there by a man. And here's the thing: you could say, oh, well, Elijah Schaefer led her there as a man. Okay, let for the sake of argument, let's say that he did. Let's say that everything she said is true. Where's her responsibility? Where's her
Where is
say,
your penance?
no?
Yeah. Or
No, not penitent. Where's her responsibility to say no, to walk away?
to walk away. Exactly. She could have just like, no, I'm not doing it.
See, and but the reason I'm asking that is because it points to the fact that they'll all say, but he had the responsibility to not do that to her, and yes, he did. But and so this gets to one of the things that we've talked about a lot on our channel, which is the goal of modern Christianity is to take away female agency without taking away female what's the term I'm looking for? Without no, that is agency. Without taking without female privileges, without taking away the
I don't, darling, I don't even think that they want to take, because agency is in a rational setting, right? Agency requires both. It requires authority.
No, don't. You're making the mistake of thinking that they are thinking of agency as a rational thing. They don't want the key to the tradcon grift with women like Sarah Stock is they cannot have her being responsible for anything. Everything must be done to her. Okay. And so that means that
but she still has agency to like falsely accuse a guy. She still has decisions.
Yeah, right. You've identified what they're struggling with. Okay. Because go ahead, Steve.
There is a prayer that Catholics say every time they go to Mass. Some Protestants do. They should be part of every worship. Should be said every day. Lord, how should we pray? What's the answer to that?
The Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Oh, that last bit. Lead us not into temptation and deliver us from evil. What does that mean? Nobody knows. Yeah, I'll tell you what it means. The Lord does not lead you into temptation. No, the Lord allows you to be tempted.
Yeah.
And then you're praying that the temptation is not too great for you to fall into. Lead me not into temptation and deliver me from evil. Don't let me be tempted beyond what I'm capable of, and give me the means to overcome that temptation. Does this prayer only apply to men? Does this thing only apply to men? Will women be tempted?
Yes, yeah. All the time.
Are we going to excuse women's behavior? Oh, you were tempted. You have an excuse. Okay, You get a get out of jail free card.
Well, okay. What about Elijah then? Wasn't he tempted by this pretty woman? Sarah Stock is not
Sure.
ugly girl, right? He was also tempted by her. So what? Like, let's just apply the same for just for fun, you know?
Well-
Let's apply the same standards that we apply on Sarah on Elijah. So both of them were tempted. And
Sure.
why does she get a free pass and he's being crucified? Oh, he's such an evil man. He forced her to do all of those things. And she falsely accused him, by the way, because she knew that it would get her out of trouble.
No, maybe it wasn't a false accusation. Don't know. Maybe he really did do those things.
Well, darling,
got
if he did do those things, then why did she stay? She still had the free will to leave the company. If he was so abusive.
Okay. You're
like,
missing a key detail here. You're missing
she
a key.
stayed 6 months.
No. You're missing a key detail here. Why was she so interested in talking about being drugged? I'm
Well, because then it's not her fault. Right?
Okay. Because the drugs take away her agency.
So was she drugged for all 6 months while he was?
No. That's not no. By saying that, okay, she can make other it stops. It's a thought stopper. It's a thinking stopper. Oh, he drugged her. He took away her agency. Okay. So now we're in this weird spot on the Christian right where it's Schrodinger's agency. She has agency that can be taken away by the man, but she doesn't have agency when the consequences of her actions come around. Okay. So, and we've said this before, female agency is dependent on whether or not it benefits the woman at that particular moment in time. The red pill has been saying that for a very long time. Nothing new there. Okay.
There's another external thing that can be blamed. I don't want to blame the man.
Can't hear you.
It
Steve.
was feminism. It was feminism that caused her to do this. Because we're not blaming the man. It was not her fault. It was feminism.
Yeah, right. Let's just blame everything on feminism. This is what neo-feminists are doing. They are not blaming men, but the fact that they are still not willing to take accountability for their own actions.
Right. So
it's just like, okay, I don't want any consequences on me. They have the same mindset.
Oh boy, here she goes again.
As the rigid feminists out there who nobody wants to take accountability for their own choices.
The big innovation of neo-feminism was we don't have to blame men.
Yeah, we just blame
we
feminism.
Can just blame this inanimate we can just blame this inanimate idea in the sky that just descended and it descended from the sky as rain and infected the water supply, and that's what caused women to go all bibbledy.
Well,
right?
And also watch this. By doing so, they actually enslave men even more without men even realizing it. Well, some men will figure it out, okay, but for most men have been
again
criticized for multiple generations now, and now finally it's such a relief for men when women finally stop blaming everything on men and blame some third party. Okay, here is feminism, let's just put the blame on feminism. I can still avoid my accountability for my own actions, and a man can serve me better because I don't blame him now.
Well, sure, yes, that's okay, fine, because it's still feminism. Like
it is feminism.
This is, believe it or not, that's the uninteresting part of this. Okay, that's the reason that it's the interesting part is the fact that they've shifted. Okay,
Yeah.
They've realized, basically,
Mhm.
they've realized that the old feminism no longer is serving their needs, so they've created a new one. Does that new one happen to appeal to a different audience? Yeah, okay, fine. That was the point. Okay.
Point is, it's women's nature to attribute their failings to an external
Exactly.
factor.
Exactly.
Doesn't
Before it was
matter
men.
what the external factor is.
Right. Before it was men, now it's this nebulous cloud called feminism that
Or it can be
rained on the
some
pervade.
combination.
Yes.
Mhm.
Or it could be the economy. I was out of money. I had no choice but
Yeah.
to grift or whore or steal or whatever. Wasn't my fault. It was economic circumstances.
Yeah.
Correct.
Whatever the external
gosh.
factor is, doesn't matter.
Right. So you can say, oh, well, but the neo-feminists are doing that. Yeah, fine. That's just what women do. The whole problem with the Sarah Stock thing is that it exposes the Schrodinger's agency problem that the church has with women. Women either have agency or don't, based entirely on whether or not it benefits the woman. And that is the problem that these men are having. They have been exposed. They raised up a woman. They said, this woman is the paragon of woman. She will be the one who will slay the dragon of female nature. She is the one. She did everything right. She stayed a virgin. She married a good man. She had her marriage blessed by the Pope, and on and on. This is the woman who did no wrong. And then you find out that she's a branch swinging monkey whore. Okay.
Yeah.
And now where are you? Because
Mhm.
and so you're going to see a bunch of people scurrying for a different explanations as to why she did what she did. None of those explanations will be she's a woman. She is a biblical woman. And that is really the problem here that they have. Sarah Stock was a biblical woman. And what I mean by that is she is just like every other woman described in the Bible.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. Can a woman be? Well, yes. Okay, in a sense that
No.
biblical-
You've missed what I'm saying.
Okay,
I think Steve got it, but you've missed what I'm saying.
but without male authority, can she?
No.
even be-
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
You've already missed
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I figured out. Yeah. I thought that. Yeah,
All women,
all women are. Yeah.
except for I think 2 in the Bible, are described as some level of sinner.
Yeah.
And even Ruth and Esther were like, it was acknowledged that they had their issues, but they were
Mhm.
generally considered good women. Okay.
Yeah.
But what was it that I don't remember where it is. Nick would know, but this guy says, I found one good man in 10,000, but among the women I have found none.
Yeah,
Like,
it's in the Old Testament.
it's in the Old Testament somewhere. Nick would know where it is. Okay. There are no good women. And that is the thing that they are struggling with now. She was as pure as driven snow. She did everything right. Oh, except she really didn't. She lied about doing everything right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she did.
That's what they're struggling with.
And see, they lie. Women lie to get clout, to get attention. They lie to get
Yeah.
to be praised.
No.
To
Vinny, this isn't that's not the interesting part.
yeah.
You keep getting wrapped up on the women. I don't give a shit about the women.
Well, women do it because
It's the fact that the church has become so corrupted that instead of being able to acknowledge that this is just how women are, what do? They swing to trying to explain her behavior. Or they sit there and they have to just sputter and spit and spew nonsense because that's all that they know how to do. They were not taught biblical women. Biblical women are whores. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. We all
A
are.
biblical woman is a whore.
Well, all
Oh,
women have that.
all women are whores, darling. All women.
But
All women have that aspect within themselves. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean they're bad women.
sure,
Doesn't mean they're good women. Means
exactly.
they're women. So,
Exactly.
okay, I think we need to bring this into a close. And
Yes.
you provided the closing. Okay, what the church people are going after is, okay, our title is the mask versus reality. The church people keep wanting to believe that mask.
Yes.
Yes.
And the reality is that women are women. Oh, no, not all women are women. Some women are good women. See, they're wearing a good mask. They're a good woman. They're not a
Yes.
Well,
rip
and by
off.
doing
Yes.
so, they actually
women
allow
are
that
women.
kind of.
Reality is reality. And the reality is that women try to wear masks to mask the fact that they're just a woman. They want to pretend to be a good woman. And the church says, oh, yes, there are good women. No, they're just women.
The
And
women
are
that
there
they
good men? No, there are
Yeah.
just men.
Right.
Men would make choices. No, I try to be a good man. Am I a good man? I don't know.
Yes.
Am I a
you-
bad man? I don't think so. I'm a man. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. There is this idea in the church, and this I believe is the fundamental corruption. The through line of all of this is that women are less corrupted than men. No. The church believes this. Listen to Michael Knowles. Remember, he did that interview with Pearl. a
With
couple
Pearl,
years-
yes, I remember
Okay,
that
okay.
one. Yeah.
Why? And my dad had it. He watched it, and he had a great line. Okay, Michael Knowles will have a knockdown, drag out theological fight with a man about the exact topic that he had when he was with the discussion with Pearl.
Uh-huh.
That is not the tactic he chose with Pearl.
Uh-huh.
And my dad, his line was, because he doesn't see Pearl as a as somebody who to have a theological argument with.
Mhm.
He sees Pearl as a fallen angel. Somebody who
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, Pearl technically, okay, I'm not saying she would, but she could be if she wanted to, like if she just avoided accountability, let's say. I'm not saying she's going to do that, right?
Okay,
But
I
it's
know
like,
I know you're going with this. No, this is not the point. Okay.
no, but like they could raise her as well to the highest, because she would say
Pearl
like,
doesn't
okay,
want to. Pearl doesn't
I
want
know
to.
that she doesn't want to. I'm just saying that like she could, because this is what essentially like women are thinking, right?
No. Again, you're going down the wrong path. Okay. No, that is not what my dad was saying. My dad wasn't making a comment about Pearl. He was making a comment about Knowles. This comment, Pearl is she's just over there. Okay, she's over in the corner.
Yeah.
This is not about Pearl. This is about
Mhm.
Michael Knowles. This is about
No,
how Michael Knowles views men in the church and how he views women in the church. Okay, this is about how the church got corrupted. Okay, to Michael Knowles, Pearl is a fallen angel. Remember, Pearl's Catholic. Michael Knowles is Catholic.
Yes, I know.
Pearl
This
should
is why-
not. No. Pearl should not be out here saying these heretical things
I know.
in Michael Knowles' Catholicism. So Michael Knowles needs that entire interview was Michael Knowles trying to rescue Pearl from what he believed was sin and degeneracy and blasphemy, heretical teaching against Bible teaching.
Yeah,
And the funny thing is, what Pearl was saying about women, he was describing biblical women. Okay, she was the one who was actually delivering and look, I understand that women are not supposed to teach, and Pearl would agree with this. Okay, the Bible says that women are not supposed to teach, but what Pearl was describing was how the Bible describes women, and Michael Knowles couldn't hear it. That is the corruption. Okay, the corruption is convincing men that they need to rescue women from all consequence. Okay, that all women are that women are who are like Pearl, who speak this stuff, are just fallen angels that need to be rescued.
And women who act upon that as being like fallen angels. This is the point I was trying to make, and you interrupted me. I'm not saying that Pearl would, and I know that she thinks otherwise, but the women like Sarah Stock or who don't mind being these fallen angels and allow men to
no, that is not what happened. That is not what happened at all. No, that is not what happened at all. Sarah Stock had to sell the mask of being a good woman. He did not go the fallen angel route. That is why Michael Knowles sung Sarah Stock's praise, because he bought the mask where he had to go rescue Pearl. He felt that he had to go rescue her, that he had to rescue the fallen angel. He never saw Sarah Stock as a fallen angel. And he still to this day does not want to believe that she was that she never was an angel. Now Sarah Stock gets moved into the fallen angel that I have to go rescue. Okay. Yeah. That's how he's going to talk about her now. It's just going to be just like Pearl, just like Nala.
Well, except for, with a small exception here. Pearl didn't take his bait. Well, he was trying to rescue her. Pearl she stood on her points. She did an amazing job there. But Sarah Stock is not going to be...
The exception doesn't matter. The exception doesn't matter. Because I'm not talking about the women. You keep trying to make this about the women. I am not talking about the women.
Let me say it this way. The situation of who they are, Pearl versus Sarah, doesn't matter. The situation doesn't matter.
Correct.
It's the category that the tradcon men put women into. They're angels. And then when they fail, they become fallen angels. Then we need to go in and rescue these fallen angels, because they're really angels who are just fallen.
Correct.
So there's two categories of women: angels and fallen angels.
But they're always angels.
Okay.
Always angels. They're always beings of light and purity.
Can I make a point, please, and listen?
Well,
I'm struggling articulating it because I'm thinking at the same time here.
Well, you can use my rants to think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to process what you're saying too, so that disrupts my thinking process.
Well, but here's the thing. Every time you've brought an exception or this or that.
No, it's not an exception.
I know, but every time you brought I've answered it. The reason I stop you is because remember, guys, I'm married to her. I know how she thinks, and I listen to her every day. The reason I'm cutting her off is because I know where it's going.
Well, okay. Watch this. There are angels, right? And then there are fallen angels. They will try to save those. All angels need to be saved, okay? Even the ones that are angels. But then there are the fallen angels.
Does he need to be saved?
No, but in Michael Knowles' mind, okay?
I answered the question.
So he will, of course, he will try to rescue Sarah Stock and other women like you, because now, like, they are fallen angels, right?
Yeah.
There is a difference. Like, I'm trying to point out is, okay, Pearl didn't buy into this bullshit, okay? She's like, no, I'm here. In his mind, okay, I prefer to be a fallen angel. So do I, because I'm not like I don't need that. I don't need that kind of rescue.
A woman cannot choose to be a fallen angel.
Correct.
Yeah, but like
Pearl did not buy into what Michael Knowles thought was a good angel. Therefore, she's not a bad woman. She's just a fallen angel.
Correct.
Sarah Stock, okay, I'm not condemning her. She was good until bad man did something or feminism did something. Now she's a fallen angel. A fallen angel still has angel potential.
Yes.
So it's not the actions of the woman that has anything to do with them getting there or a woman choosing that. It's the category. Men just put them in that category. Christian men especially.
If
women
if you go watch that interview with Michael Knowles, he spent most of his time trying to convince Pearl that she was misled by the men she was hanging out with in the red pill.
Oh yeah, he was blaming the men.
Okay,
yeah.
right. That's exactly what Steve just described. That's exactly the same thing. Okay.
Well, except for, okay, guys, women have agency. Pearl chose not to buy into this BS. Some fallen angels like Sarah Stock, she will buy into this because it suits her, like Nala and like Lily Phillips, all of these chicks who are reformed.
It's not buy-in.
Whatever.
It's not buying in. It's using. A mask is something you use.
Yes.
A mask is something you do.
Okay. We are correcting my language here. So
yes, we are, because you're an ESL.
Yes. Okay. They're going to use it to their advantage.
Sure. Right. The problem here is not the women. You keep trying to make this about the women. It's not the women. The problem is how the men deal with it. Okay. What we are saying is that all women are biblical women. All women are human.
They have the same female nature. Yeah.
They have the same female nature.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to do the same things for the same reasons. You know, Sarah Stock put on the mask of the trad virgin, the virginal trad wife. Okay. And it turns out that she's actually a swinging from the rafters monkey sex person. Okay. But we find that out. The problem is not with what she did. All women understand at their very core that what they have to sell to men is their purity. Okay. That's why we talk about body count endlessly, right? That's okay. Women are going to do what women are going to do. It is how the men react to that determines whether or not the men and the women handle the situation correctly.
Well, then it's if you only place it on men.
No.
Men's responsibility.
Because if the men handle it correctly, the women experience the consequences of their actions.
Yeah,
the problem is that Michael Knowles, at his very core, wants to remove the consequence from the woman. That is his sin.
Mm-hmm.
He is trying to play God with these women. When you remove agency from a human, you become their God. Okay? And so by trying to remove the agency of women, we become gods over them. You are trying to play God. No, that is not your place as a man. It is not your place to remove consequence, because when you remove consequence, you are removing God's divine judgment. The consequences of this universe are built into this universe by God for a reason. By removing them, you are removing God's divine judgment. That is not your place.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Michael Knowles' sin. It is the sin of hubris to believe that he himself can play God. Yeah. That he himself can go to Pearl and raise her up from her fallen nature of his own accord. No, that's what it is. She is a fallen woman, like every other woman on this planet. And Michael Knowles believed that he could raise her up. And that was really what my dad, that is the really profound nature of what my dad actually said. She was a fallen angel, and Michael Knowles was going to rescue her, raise her up, and return her to angel status. No, only God can make angels.
Yeah.
A woman cannot make angels, but the woman can put on the mask of angels. And it is up to us men to get our shit together and decide not to buy the mask.
Yes.
That is something only men can do.
Mm-hmm.
Women are going to do what they do. And there are.
Yeah, women are going to women. You won't stop them. You can tell them all of those things. Don't
Because
do
they
it.
have
It's
agency.
not going to work.
Exactly. Because they have agency. Women are going to do what women are going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Men are going to do what men are going to do. But it is my belief that Michael Knowles, for all his TLM and fervent praying, is committing the sin of hubris. He believes that he can save the woman from herself.
Mm-hmm.
And Pearl was kind of the first time that he experienced this idea of you
she
really
didn't.
can't, because she didn't buy it.
She didn't buy it.
Correct
Yeah.
about that. She
Yeah.
didn't go for it. And so he was left there kind of going, well, I don't know what to do with this. And
yeah, and then she's like, okay, she's not savable.
Exactly. And so when you're a Christian man and you've been raised a certain way in the Bible and you've never really encountered the consequences of the world, you start to believe that, well, if I can't save her, it's because God has given her over to the devil. You start to believe that you understand that you can read the mind of God. Think about the level of hubris required to do what Michael Knowles did. Okay.
I was watching. Yeah, I saw, and yeah,
that is hubris.
He was struggling.
Right,
he was struggling with Pearl because she didn't need his bailout. She didn't.
Correct.
She was just saying the truth, right? How
well,
things are.
He doesn't believe that's the truth. So that was a surface level fight.
Yeah.
That was the surface of the fight. The lower level fight was Pearl was saying, I am not an angel.
Yeah.
Fallen or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I personally have never spoken to Pearl. You have, but my guess is she'd agree with that characterization. And do you want to know something? Her characterization of herself is more biblical than Michael Knowles' characterization of Pearl. Pearl is not an angel, fallen or otherwise. She's a human. She's a human being with human failings. Okay. She doesn't need to be rescued by Michael Knowles to be raised up to be a redeemed angel. Right. Exactly.
I think Pearl is smart enough to realize that. Yeah, it's just but this is what the right wing men do.
Well, that's because that's what they've been taught to do.
Yeah,
that's what they've been taught to do. So don't fret your mind too much about it. They're just running their programming. Okay, they're just being good little automatons. Okay, they've got their programming. And this is why we opened with what I said in the chat last night. The beatings will continue until they are swept aside by reality. God has no use for men who think they can raise up fallen angels. He has no use for them. And they will be swept aside by reality.
I keep saying all women need to be restrained. It's just in our nature. And we another comment that Steve actually left yesterday in our private group chat, that men have the ability to think abstractly and apply self-discipline, right? And they can restrain themselves, and they can definitely restrain.
Just barely.
Just not all men, but in general.
In general, yeah.
Men have a capacity for internal restraint. Let's put it at like 80% of men can do that. Women pretty much lack the capacity for restraint based on internal things. Men are accountable to themselves, through themselves to God. A man is the glory of God, woman is the glory of man. So women don't really have the same ability to be accountable to themselves. That's why a man can say, my word is my bond. A man is only as good as his word. We never say that about women because women are not constrained or governed by their internal discipline. It's always
another
external.
reason why, or to answer Rachel Wilson's question, why they will always wear a mask, because women are not held accountable to their words. Whatever they say, they can sell whatever grief they want.
We're
And
over 3 hours.
As long as they get what they want.
Because I showed up, Steve.
I
Yeah,
know.
well, yeah,
But I still have to say, okay, we got to end this thing.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
But let's all be thankful for Sarah Stock.
Yes.
Because she has provided a wonderful example that has got people talking and thinking about this. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, good discussion today. We had a lot of comments. Thank you guys for stopping by, and leave a comment under the video. Tell us what you think about the mask versus reality and women. Share your thoughts and observations. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Remember to please like and subscribe. What are you guys doing on Wednesday? Do you know yet?
Nope.
No? Okay, you'll decide.
Nick is doing it. Nick's
oh, right. It's probably second part, right? To Gush.
Yeah, it's probably that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, join us on Wednesday on the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel at 5:45 p.m. Pacific. Okay, and yeah, we'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Thanks for being here with us today. Bye.
We've really got it all, and you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch. You'll learn a shame of 3 or 4. Yeah, that is bar. Yeah, that is bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.